Hello and welcome. My name is Kevin. This is Do It for Bruce. We're here in CK3 once more for another time lapse for time lapse week. This time, we're doing a time lapse that involves two new mods that we haven't really used before: a Shadow World mod and Random County Religion mod. So essentially, the first one shadows the world, as you can see, and the second one gives every county on the face of the map a random faith to deal with. So we got Boris in Iberia, and Pagans in Germany, Asatrus in India. So it's all over the place. 3 different times. We're gonna run it 3 times just to see how well these random faiths will do in consolidating the world under their one rule. My guess is we've seen it traditionally, we'll see it again. Muslim faiths will be the most powerful. So they don't start off with a lot of counties, but knowing them, they will do a good job of converting. And I'll see you after this first time lapse to discuss what happened. All right, here we are, 591 years in the future, and we are looking at 3 different metrics to see what happened in this. First, we're going to see who's the top 3 faiths. After that, we're going to look for the most powerful country on the face of the map and see if those 2 metrics connect. And then thirdly, we're going to look at development and see if that has any added aspects or information. Karmatian, which is seeming to control most of India, and Mulwadi, which is traditionally an Iberian area, but it somehow cropped back up in the Middle East. And then we have Mesheferism, which is a faith that I don't think I know very much about. Followers of the Black Book, which describes how the Lord came down from the Black Mountain and created the world. Cool. Love how that's right to the point. Muslim faiths take it on this round, easy as pie. So then let's look at the normal map mode and see who's the most powerful amongst all of them. I would say it's probably one of the, maybe it's this random face over here. No, it looks like Italy, the Empire of Italy, is the most powerful right now amongst all our people out here, unless it's some random faith or random thing out here. I like how Iceland never really gets into the action, really just stays up in their corner, never really doing very much. Yeah, I think it's Italy who's the most powerful. Development real quick and see where we are having a lot more yellow. Yeah, as expected, Rome is a pretty big piece of this puzzle, giving them a huge development boost, but for whatever reason they did not. It's been recently either taken over or is not of their faith. I'm surprised that's probably causing some problems, unrest in their country, and we probably would have seen them shatter pretty soon after that. In the map mode, because we want to see a disgusting affair. Yep, as usual, there are Aquitaine and some different versions of France, Lotharingia, Uke, which is a weird title that was created by some random Jewish Frenchman. Let's go on to our second one. All right, here we are after another 592 years this time. We looks like we have more Ari, we have some more Catholic, we have more of this blue faith, Gurban, which is a Tibetan faith. Nice to see some more representation out here in the world. So let's see who is the top three. We have a Zoroastrian faith, we have a Buddhist faith, and we have the Tibetan faith. It's really surprising to see a Zoroastrian. Usually they don't do well. Ari, that makes sense because they are of the Buddhist faiths. I think they're the only one that isn't a peace-loving one. They have a lot of pacifism in their doctrine. This is the faith, I think, that we use to do our Cairn affair time-lapse, and Gurban I've never experienced before. So then we will see who's the most powerful in the realm. Punjab is doing well as their neighbors, the Savoria. Yeah, it's probably this kingdom, Punjab, over here. That's this Ari faith spreader. Looks like they did the best job. See if that plays a part. This area is traditionally pretty developed just because of how it starts, but it looks like they're the most yellow contiguously, it feels like, unless we're talking about Constantinople in this area as well is pretty developed. So I think what we're learning is development really doesn't seem to be playing that big of a role how powerful a faith is. Pretty high development here, but Catholicism isn't a huge one, and then we have a decent amount of faith, and Samartinism isn't a decent development. So there are clearly other factors to be thinking about. But quickly before that, let's see some gross kingdoms that were created. Yes, delicious. Quite yum. I am very happy with all these deliciously disgusting. Europe just knows how to get down and gross with different kingdoms, but I guess India is also giving them a run for their money. All right, on to our last and final one. So I'll see you after that one. 591 years. And looks like right off the top, I see Muslim faiths being the most powerful. Let's see. Yep. Ash'ari and Druze from the mountains of Druze, which I have no clue where those are. Druze faith follows many of the principles of Islamism, but also includes Gnostic beliefs in esoteric theology focusing on truth of existence. Kharism, one of the Jewish faiths, looks like has a pretty strong hold in India. I think India once again might have the strongest nation, but let's check out Europe real quick. We have Brittany with a big old, and Burgundy as well as Pomerania. We have some pretty strong kingdoms out here. It's either Brittany or one of these. Nah, it's definitely this Punjab again. I think it is. Yeah, Punjab. This Punjab area seems to be where a lot of the power is, but I guess that was true in the medieval age just because of the amount of people that lived in that area. Development and see if that. Yeah, once again, this area over here is developed, but Punjab is actually right here, so it's not actually having that big of an effect, which I would have been like my idea. Maybe in the beginning they were with high development, you were more effective, but as time went on, it became less and less of a need, because everybody starts out with one county and they then have to fight their neighbors in theory to gain more and more land. See that development doesn't have an effect on it very much. That's what we've learned. Maybe in the early game, but not in this part of the game. How gross the AI has turned the kingdom map mode. Always, this place is always just such a disgusting. Yep. Okay. I love to see it. All in all, what we've learned so far is that development doesn't play that much of a role maybe as time goes on. The more powerful faiths are clearly the Muslim faiths. Just over time, they seem to do much better, forcing people to convert to their religion. We also didn't see a single reformed faith. Not a single one of these faiths, unreformed faiths, became reformed. It's kind of surprising that we didn't see at least some resurgence of one or another, but nope, just no. If you were unreformed, you stayed unreformed, which is sad to say. And then we have one final graph that I'll show you. Okay, to belabor this point even further, just so that everybody can understand a little bit more of how dominant the Muslims were, we will show you. I've broken down all the faiths into their categories. It rolled them all up into their major faiths. So like Muslims have 7 or 8 sects, so I rolled them up into that. Same with the Christians and all that. Here's every one of the faiths with how many counties they start with at the beginning of this time lapse. They all start with around, it seems like a range between 70-ish to about 97 or 100. Seems like that's a pretty even split. Some get less, some get more. But after the first try, you see, so the Muslims get out to a pretty big jump. Millet was that one faith that I had no clue what it was. Jewish, good representation. Christian, Zoroastrian, yeah, great. Second one, boom. Muslims jump even further ahead, out of reach. Essentially, nobody's going to catch them. We have more Buddhists, some Christians gains, but still Muslims so dominant. And then we add in the third altogether, and then it's boom, it's astronomical. They are completely dominant. No one is going to catch them ever in this realm of this test. How absolute dominant the Muslims were through these 3 different time lapses. So I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and tell me what else you'd like to see. We have one more time lapse coming up tomorrow, and then that's it for time lapse week. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.